morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we're going to be taking a little bit of a look at a new set that has just been announced over in Japan. And we know a little bit about it, and it's raised a whole bunch of questions, and I've got some theories, ladies and gentlemen. So, what do we actually know about it for certain? It is called Dream League. I should say that the news came from the lovely Joe over at Cerebi.net, a wonderful website. If you're not checking it regularly, why not? And we know that it is coming out in Japan on the 2nd of August. And we know that it is going to have 49 cards plus question mark. Question mark, incidentally, being your secret rares. And we know that the pack art looks like this. That is what we know for absolute certain. And no, it's not that much, unfortunately. We knew that Japan was going to have an August set. They have a set every month. Well, essentially. Technically, the June set comes out on May the 31st, but more on that in a moment. This is going to be Sun and Moon 11B, which incidentally means that it will be in our November set, about which we have no information currently. And that, ladies and gentlemen, as they say, is that. I do find it interesting that it is ever so slightly smaller than we might imagine. Sun and Moon 10A was GG The End, which had 54 cards. Sun and Moon 10B was Sky Legend, which had 54 cards. And alright, 5 fewer cards isn't the end of the world, but you're rocking about 10% of the set gone, so it's slightly smaller. It's a slightly smaller set. Does that mean more bigger cards? More interesting cards? I don't know. That might be one reason for a slightly smaller set. But what really strikes me here is if we look at the artwork, it's got humans on. We don't ever see humans on the artwork of Pokemon packets. It just doesn't happen. So that, to me, is extremely interesting. Now, it is dummy artwork, but if you look at it, this is not proper dummy artwork. If we look at the dummy artwork from GG The End, they've just whacked the main 2 Pokemon on there and gone, there you go. If we look at the dummy artwork for Sky Legend, they've just whacked the 3 main Pokemon on, incidentally it is the Kensugamori artwork, and gone, there you go. Whereas here, they've actually gone to a lot of effort to really frame the picture and have lots of different Pokemon overlapping. So yes, it's dummy artwork, but it's not dummy artwork, if that makes sense. So what does this all mean? Well, on the pack, we can see Reshiram and Zekrom. We can see Lunala and Solgaleo. We can see Koffing and Pikachu. And then we can see some humans. We can see Lily. We can see Red. We can see N. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute. And we can see Roxy. Now, incidentally, Roxy interests me greatly here because Roxy was one of the gym leaders from Black and White 2. And Roxy's never had a card before. And yet, in GG The End, we got Grimsley, who had never had a card before and was a gym leader in Black and White 2. So why we're suddenly getting Black and White 2 gym leaders making their debut, I'm not 100% sure. If anyone's got any theories, whack them down below. Comment section, you know the deal. So, theory time then. What does this all mean? And one of the theories here might be owner's Pokemon. Now again, this was Joe's theory. He told me earlier, it's not just my theory. We've not seen owner's Pokemon for a little while. Now, when we say owner's Pokemon, think like the SP Pokemon. So, if we see the old Luxray, for instance, it wasn't really Luxray Level X. It was Luxray GL Level X. It was Luxray Galactic. And you can see that Volkner is right there as the owner. And you should know Volkner because, well, he's running around in all these lightning decks lately. Similarly, the other big SP Pokemon from back in the day was your Garchomp C Level X, who was clearly Cynthia's Garchomp. And owner's Pokemon are cool, and we see this very, very occasionally, not very often at all, but Japan, for instance, had Ash's Pikachu GX, and we had Ash's Greninja GX, so it is not without precedent. And right here, we've got Lily, we've got Red, we've got N, and we've got Roxy, and they're kind of a bit paired up. Roxy is the poison gym leader, so it makes sense you'd have a Koffing. Red obviously has Pikachu, and then Lily has Solgaleo or Lunala. Remember in the game, spoiler alert, if you've not played Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I suppose, she's got Nebby who turns into either Solgaleo or Lunala, depending on which of the games you go for. And then there's Anne who has Reshiram or Zekrom, depending on which of the games you went for. So Ona's Pokemon makes an awful lot of sense to me here. Because we've got 4 humans on the artwork, and we've got a bunch of Pokemon, all of whom are very clearly tied to the humans on the artwork. Now, the counter-argument here is this is Sun and Moon 11A. And we are expecting Sun and Moon, the block as a whole, to end on Sun and Moon 12. That's not been confirmed, but Sun and Moon 12 will be their September set, and then I'm expecting them to get into the Sword and Shield. We might get a couple more. Maybe we get 12A and 12B, but I don't expect to see a Sun and Moon 13. So this would be very late in the day to start introducing Ona's Pokemon. We'd have kind of Sun and Moon 11B, 12, 12A, 12B at the most before we went on to Sword and Shield. Having said that, Pokemon EX came around in Next Destinies, in the Black and White block, Mewtwo being one of the first ones, and then carried on into the X and Y block with stuff like Eviltal EX, which, let's just say that saw a little bit of play here and there. So they can span blocks, it's just kind of rare and a bit weird when they do. So Ona's Pokemon is one potential thing here, but they could be hinting at Tag Team GXs. Now, here's the thing. Reshiram's already had a Tag Team GX with Charizard in Unbroken Bonds, and Zekrom's already had a Tag Team GX in Team Up with Pikachu, which incidentally is also on the artwork here. Maybe there's going to be some kind of Solgaleo and Lunala Tag Team GX. Maybe some kind of super powerful Reshiram and Zekrom Tag Team GX. Incidentally, I do love that the best 2 Tag Team GXs are Reshiram and Zekrom. It reminds me of when Black and White came around the first time and the best decks were literally Reshiram and Zekrom, and made me kind of happy. So maybe they're Ona's Pokemon, maybe they're hinting at new Tag Team GXs, and to be clear, since they brought in Tag Team GXs, the at least dummy artwork and the real artwork has always been the Tag Team GXs in the set. This is a big departure from what we usually get. Usually we just get the stock Kentagamori artwork for the Pokemon that are going to be in the kind of headline Tag Team GX. Now, there is one other theory which I don't think is actually going to be real. Maybe it's a reprint set. And if it is a reprint set, does that mean we're getting a reprint of N? Because make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen, N is on the front of the pack. We are getting an N card. Maybe that's a reprint of N, which would really be welcome and shake up the format. Or maybe we don't. But we're getting an N card. There is no way N comes up on the dummy artwork without us getting an N card. Now, maybe it's an N's Pokemon, Ona's Pokemon like we talked about. Maybe it's a new supporter, but we are getting an N card in this set. Roxy's probably going to have a new supporter unless it's an Ona's Pokemon. And like I said, Roxy is the Poison Gym leader. So it's going to be something that interacts with Poison Pokemon. She is actually the Burbank City Gym leader. Maybe we get a reprint of that? We won't, incidentally. And even if we do, it's nowhere near as good without Hypnotoxic Laser, and it will be coming around right as the Survivor that increases poison rotates out. So even if we did get a reprint of Burbank City Gym, which we won't, I don't think. We could, but I don't think we will. It won't be anywhere near as good as it was last time without Hypnotoxic Laser. So maybe it's a reprint set, but then again, a trademark has been filed over in Japan for Tag All-Stars. And generally speaking, the last set is the reprint set. So we're expecting Sun and Moon 12B to be Tag All-Stars, and that's going to be the reprint set. Shout out to the lovely Primal Lugia for giving me a heads up on that one. So frankly, I don't think it is a reprint set. I'm raising it as an option because the pack art suggests it might be, because there's a whole bunch of stuff that's already had cards, and then Roxy. But I don't think it is, if I'm honest with you. Honestly, I think the strongest theory so far is Ona's Pokemon. It's just weirdly late in the block to do so. Now, just as a quick reminder, as I like to do in these videos, over in Japan, they are getting Miracle Twin on the 31st of May. That's their June set, it's coming a day early. That's Sun and Moon 11. Then on July the 5th, they're getting Sun and Moon 11A Remix Bout. And then on August the 2nd, they are getting this Sun and Moon 11B Dream League. Now, for our purposes, we're getting Unified Minds in August, and that will be GG the End, Sky Legend, and Miracle Twin. And then in November, we're getting Remix Bout Dream League and whatever Sun and Moon 12 is. We have no information about our November set as it stands at the moment. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we know. That's what you need to know. And I, for one, am a little bit excited. But I would like to know how you feel about all of this. So do let me know in the comment section. Give me your predictions. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WasiPlays, where we talk about games that don't have Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.